Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. My name's Destiny. I do all kinds of things here, and today we're going to talk about my June TBR, if Ollie decides I can. Hold on, sorry, I had to fix the lighting because I was using natural light out this window and it looked great for the first two videos I filmed, but now it didn't look so good. So let's talk about my June TBR before the baby starts to cry. So the first one is Maybe You Should Talk to Somebody by Lori Gilib. I could be pronouncing that incorrectly. This is about a therapist, her therapist, and our lives revealed. Basically, from what I know about this, she Okay, let me just read this bottom part to you because honestly, I'm a little confused about what it's about. But it says, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone is a revolutionary in its candor, offering a deeply personal yet universal tour of our hearts and minds and providing the rarest of gifts, a boldly revealing portrait of what it means to be human, and a disarmingly funny, illuminating account of our own mysterious lives and the power to transform them. I'm so excited for this. I've heard it's so good I've heard people on TikTok talk about it. I've heard book talk about it. So I'm excited to get into this and see what I think. The next is another nonfiction, and that is The Body Keeps Score. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce that author's name because I don't want to butcher it, because I know I'm going to. This is about how trauma affects our physical body. And I'm so excited to get into this. I know it's a nonfiction that deals with like veterans with trauma and all of that. We all have trauma. We all have shit that we have to go through on a daily basis, and this just kind of shines a light on it. I'm super excited about getting into it. If you can't tell, I have a mental health theme going here. The next one actually is a nonfiction as well, but it's a little less daunting for me, and that is Black Cats and Evil Eyes, a book of old-fashioned superstitions. So it tells us this is about where the superstitions come from. I've started this, but I did not finish it. I started reading about the Friday the 13th. That's like the first one in here, but I never got a chance to finish it, so I'm excited to get back into this. And then next on my list is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I have read Final Girl Support Group and Southern Book Club's Guide to Sailing Vampires, so I'm excited to get into this one as well. I know he's wrote two more. He wrote oh, it doesn't tell me. He wrote, there's one about like an IKEA killer, IKEA store. It looks like an IKEA store catalog, but it's really a horror book. And then the other one listed in here is a Paperbacks from Hell, a twisted history of the 70s and 80s horror fiction. I want to pick that one up as well. But so My Best Friend's Exorcism is set in the 80s. It follows sophomores Abby and Gretchen, who have been best friends since the 4th grade. And after a skinny dipping goes strangely wrong, Gretchen begins to act different. Like I said, I've read his other two books and I loved them. I gave the Southern Book Club's Guide to Sailing Vampires 5 stars, and then I gave Final Girl Support Group 4 stars. They are set in different decades. So this one's set in the 80s. Southern Book Club's Guide is set in the 90s, and then Final Girls is set in the 2000s. And so I'm excited to get into this. 80s is not my favorite decade, honestly. It's just not something I've always gravitated to. I don't really care for 80s music, but I don't think that's going to have a play in here. I'm really, really excited for this one. This is part of my 5-star predictions. It's on my new 5-star predictions list if you watched that video. So that's the first one in that. I'm so excited for it. Next is the third installment in the Diviner series, and that is Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. Guys, can I just complain a little bit about these paperbacks? So this is Before the Devil Breaks You. This is Layer of Dreams. Do we see this? Do you see this? And then my copy of Diviners, where is it? Hold on. I'm just gonna grab it because it's, oh baby Jesus, if I don't knock everything off in the process. King of Crows is trying to come out too. I don't need you. And then here, let's put it on the side. Here's the diviners. Like, could we not have done them all the same size, please? Like, that would have been just awesome. And I want to show you that I'm not, like, drastically making this up with the diviners as well. Like, why? Why? And it's not like I could understand it if I had ordered, like, the mass market paperback of this, but I didn't. I just ordered the paperback. But anyways, that ran aside. Like, I'm not one big on, like, making my series match or making sure all my books are the same. Hardback versus paperback, all of that. Like, I don't care. Obviously, you can see here are my Sarah J. Maas. Like, I had paperbacks and then hardback. My Crescent City are both in hardback because I bought them as they came out. But, like, here, Lady Midnight, like, all these, I don't need them to match. I don't care. But I wish it had been the same size because the type in this is just itty bitty. Okay, I'm done. Anyway, so this series follows Evie O'Neill, who is a diviner. She can hold objects and read their secrets. And this is the third installment. I'm super excited to get into this because I feel like her uncle knows more than he's saying. I feel like all the adults know so much more than they're saying. They just haven't told anybody. So I'm really excited to get into this and see if we finally get some answers. I have said this in every video I've done about these books, but if you are having trouble getting into them and just don't understand my excitement or not getting why I'm so excited over these, I highly recommend trying to give the audiobook a try because they're so good. They're so good. I listened to the first 2 audiobooks and physically read across aside to it so I could annotate. And I highly recommend doing that method. It's so much better than just reading them. I read the diviners and wasn't really interested, did not really jive. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed myself, but I didn't love it like everybody else was. I wasn't understanding the hype until I listened to the audiobooks, and now I'm on the hype train. So there's that. And then the last one for my TBR this month, I like that wrong stack. The last one for my TBR this month is The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I have read The Red Queen, The Glass Sword, yes, King's Cage. I've read all those. I just have not finished. I never read Roarstorm. So I want to start over again. And I am so excited for this because honestly, I've read this before I started annotating my books. I think this one, I'm looking behind me thinking, I think this book has been on my like physical shelves the longest. A lot of the books I had like in high school and first year of college, they all ended up not making it in a move from dorm to dorm, or I lended it to a random friend from that random class and never got it back. So it's so funny that this one's still in my possession. I still own it. So I'm excited to get into this again and reread it. I may end up listening to it because I have all the audiobooks available to me on Scribd, but we will see. Yeah. That's my current actual TBR. I do have a few honorable mentions that are on my cart that I'll tell you about just real quick in case I finish all of these, or I finish all the audiobooks that I have for these and want to get something else. And that I have Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I'm excited to get into this. I've never really read the classics. I've read like To Kill a Mockingbird, and I tried reading 1984. But honestly, the chunk that you're reading in the book, I just couldn't get through. But anyways, I just have never read like Jane Austen or any of those, so I'm excited to get into this. Possibly I have the audiobook on Scribd for it. And then the next one, I don't have the audiobook for. I don't have, it's honestly on the shelf because I was walking through the library and it piqued my interest, and that is The Splendid and the Vile by Eric Larson. I've heard that it's so good. It's all about the Churchill family and their defiance of the Blitz during World War II. I've seen a couple people talk about it and how good it was, so I did pick this up. I've been in a real nonfiction mood, so I did pick this one up. But that's right now is my physical TBR for the month. I will take you through my Scribd here in just a second, like I've done the last few months, so that you can see exactly, so I can show you what's on there and what I may end up picking up. It will probably happen a little later than today that I'm filming this, because I am planning on picking up an audiobook. I'm fixing to have to leave out of the house to go get a couple things done around town, like run a few errands and stuff. So then that may wait a little bit, but I will get it done. Okay, so like I was saying, here's my script. I've already started Neon Gods. I have a lot of Stephen King. I have 2 book of the month, which is The Reckless Girls and The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, that I'm doing for a different video. I have The Club because I watched a recent video of someone reading it. I'll try tagging it below and really want to give it a try. Mr. Mercedes, because I've learned Stephen King is definitely an audible listen for me, not a physical read. Murder at the Book Club I've already finished. That one was one of my mom's. And then we're getting into a lot of nonfiction I want to read. I have a fascination with Jack the Ripper, so that's where that one comes in. For Blood and Ash, I've heard mixed reviews. I want to give it a try myself. I have a thing with nonfiction that has cuss words in the title. Yeah. Then there are some Colleen Hoover, because I've never read a Colleen Hoover. I want to give that a try. More Stephen King. The Poppy War is on my TBR already. Paris Apartment, like I just discussed. More Murder on the Orient Express, because I read Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. These Violent Delights, because I've heard great things again. Wise Man Fear, I probably will pick up physically, not audibly, but it's there if I want it. And then Pride and Prejudice, because I want to listen to it as well. And now here's my Libby. The first thing I do here is actually give back the Orient Express, because I have it twice. But I have Before the Devil Breaks You, These Rebel Waves, Reflection, and I'll Be Gone in the Dark. I'll Be Gone in the Dark, I've heard great things for. Reflections there, because I really want to give these retellings a try. And then Before the Devil Breaks You, obviously I want to listen to it, because I love the audiobooks for the Diviner series. But yeah, that's everything. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.